Familiar faces again on top of the podium, around 7 here. A little bit of a mix-up. Went in second place in the points. Hunter, we'll start with you. Be able to salvage it. Nearly a perfect day. You almost had your 1-1 and a little tip over there, but now you've taken over the points lead. You made up 18 points today. So tell us about your day and tell us a little bit about that fall, that tip over that you had back there, because it really didn't get shown on camera because I think the drone shot was down and whatever reason.
Yeah, it was a good day. Obviously, second moto, just tired at the end, and then, geez, I think I had like 4 lappers in front of me, past, a few on the downhill, then around that corner, and just, they got their own stuff going on, and as I do, and just last minute split decision to miss them, and I just pushed the front, washed the front into the face of the wall jump, so wasn't ideal, and then kind of took me a bit to get up. I almost winded myself a bit, and then I was trying to see where third place was, and I didn't know Joe was there. And then I kind of heard him on the last section. I'm like, all right, crap, I got to dig again. So it was close, but no, all in all, pretty good day.
And speaking of winding yourself, I had a bird's eye view of the announcer's tower, and I could see it looked to me like you were laboring a little bit to breathe. I know you've been struggling with some rib injuries, and that couldn't have felt good falling on them. I mean, did it hurt, re-injure your ribs?
Yeah, I mean, I've had pretty bad luck with always falling onto the left side and just, when they get a little bit better and just re-injure them. But, gave them a good hit. Of course, we couldn't land on the other side. So, but no, all good. We got Dr. G. So.
Well, your misfortune was Justin took advantage of it there, and Justin be able to win that second moto like that. And one of the other things that I noticed was, did you see Hunter laying on the ground right away or not? Because I noticed on the TV monitor you checked over your shoulder a few times. It looked like maybe double checking that, see where Hunter was and maybe to see where Joe was in the last lap.
Yeah, I just seen the yellow flags. I didn't know who was down or if it was Lapper or anything like that. But once I got up closer, I seen him on the side, and I figured he got up right behind me. So I was pushing pretty hard the last lap, and took a look back. I didn't know if he was right behind me or I had some room to, take it easy. But once I seen there was a little bit of a gap, I kind of toned it back, and it was just had to stay close in that one and hope for that mistake.
Well, you enjoyed the win too. I think anybody that's raced enough has had one of those moments where you didn't know somebody was right behind you. You check over your shoulder once and you don't think much, and somebody's right there and you didn't realize it. So it looked like I saw on the monitor you did multiple times and took advantage of it. So now coming into these points, Justin, it's very, very close between the second and fifth place. There's only, I believe, 8 points separating second and fifth points between. So you've moved pretty darn close to the second place position and not too far out of the lead. So considering missing a race like that, you got to feel pretty good about where your season's going.
Yeah, it's I feel like we've all had our misfortunes this year, and I couldn't do much. There's no way I was gonna race at High Point. The way I was feeling, I was just happy to be in good hands in the hospital. So luckily it wasn't anything too serious, and we were able to get back racing. With the weekend off definitely helped me out a lot, and we just got to keep pushing. Still got a lot of racing to go, and anything can happen.
Well, thanks very much, and the fans are the benefactors of it all because it's really fun to watch you guys. There's 6, 7, 8 riders that can seriously win a moto, and you guys are all dicing it hard every week. So, Joe Shimoda, speaking of winning a moto, first moto win last week at Southwick. Come in here with seemed like a lot of confidence, riding really, really well, getting the whole shot, and leading almost until the last 3 laps there, and some guy on number 96 came battling, but you gave it your all. And how do you feel about your riding today and your result?
I feel honestly I'm feeling happy on the starts more than the riding, but yeah, riding is getting better throughout the week. I feel like I finally have.
If you hold at the bottom, I think it cuts out the radio signal or something. So yeah, hold it up higher. There you go.
I feel like I have my bike getting pretty dialed in. So more focused on the volume during the week. I think that's gonna help me a lot on the next few races, and yeah, I'm excited.
Well, you've moved yourself in tied for third place with R.J. Hampshire, 240 points, sitting third in the championship, and you got 1 point cushion on Justin in fifth there. So, looking forward to Washougal. Are you? How's that track for you?
Um, I just treat the race same way, so it doesn't really matter where. Just kind of focus on myself. Um, just all I need is good starts right now. Yep.
Okay. So speaking of tracks, today the track was prepped a little different. We don't really see Spring Creek. It wasn't disked quite as deeply as it was before. So you were faced with even more decisions on tire choices, for instance. You know, you made a last minute decision to switch a tire right before the second Moto Hunter, and then as you came in on the sighting lap, you guys decided to go back to the same tire that you ran, which was the scoop style tire that we see a lot often in the 250 class. But you went back right before the start of the race to the scoop. And tell us about that decision and why you did it.
Yeah, it was. We went with the half cut for the sight lap. We thought, you know, the track was getting really dry and hard, and a lot of square edge bumps in a lot of places. So we thought we had a pretty good plan with that. But then the sight lap, there was like they did enough dozer work and flattened enough stuff that made it softer than what it was. So it was like, all right, we don't want to sacrifice the start, and yeah, went back to the scoop.
Okay, so a couple of questions from the internet here, basically coming in from social media. One of the questions I'd like to ask you, Hunter, would be, is the sand section out there, do you feel like it's more technique, or, you know, what does it take to get through the whoops, the famous whoop from Millville?
Yeah, I mean, good technique is obviously a huge part of getting through them well. But, you know, that combined with throttle control and just gripping with your knees and stuff, because they got really pretty gnarly at the end of the day. Like super short faces and really, really steep. So you don't just want to hit it wide open because you're just going to go sideways. But, yeah, they're different every year, I feel like.
And Justin, a question for you. What is the toughest part of this track? What's the toughest section of this track?
I would say the sand rollers were yeah, they were really tough today. Levi in front of me in the second moto had a big moment, and it scared me how bad it was. So they were, yeah, short and steep like Hunter said, and it was, I don't know, it was like you had to let off and re-engage the throttle in like a weird way to stay on top of them. It was definitely challenging, and I could only imagine how the 450 guys, you know, were feeling out there in the second moto. I heard Chase had a big one on the first lap, so they were definitely tricky. I would say today the trickiest part of the track for sure.
And Joe Shimoda, what about yourself? What is your favorite and what is your least favorite part of the Spring Creek track?
Funny story. This morning, actually, I went off the track right by Hunter, and me and him were laughing because it was quite sketchy. I don't know how I saved it, but I feel like I'm live.
It was.
You were on a slow lap, like you weren't on a
Yeah, yeah. Yep.
Okay, so that leads me to my next question. Hunter, on the monitor watching the first moto, a couple of times I watched you take your hand off your handlebars. Were you wiping your hands, or are you pulling your pants, or do we have a wardrobe malfunction, or something you were doing with your hand a couple of times? Do you remember that?
Yeah, yeah, we heard all about it. Everyone was super fixated on that. But no, just readjusting the pants, you know, like we're moving so much on the bike when we're seated and sliding back. And
Yeah.
I mean, the seats are really grippy. So yeah, it just kind of, you know, moves your pants around. I'm sure like I'm not the only one that has that. And like sometimes your jersey will get moved and stick in a weird spot from the sweat. So just kind of adjusting as you go, you know.
Okay, and tell us about the pink gear. I mean, got a little history there. Tell us about the pink gear.
The Pink Panther? You
Yeah,
like that?
just tell us about the pink gear there.
Yeah,
I know somebody that once wore it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I don't know. He sounds like a sketchy guy, this guy you're talking about. But
Exactly.
no, you know what they say. It takes a real man to wear pink. So, yeah, why not? The first gear reveal of the 2024 Alpine Stars stuff. So, yeah, why not?
Yeah, rumor has it they're going to be revealing it to the public and dealers next week on Sunday at Washougal, I heard, huh?
Yeah, so stay tuned. The stuff will sell out as it always does. So, yeah.
Very good. So, Justin, how about Washougal track for you? How do you like that track? And obviously, you have a teammate that grew up and born and raised in the Washougal area. So, you're going to be jumping in on his rear wheel for practice, or how do you like Washougal's track?
Sounds like a good idea to me. I mean, he definitely his house is up on the hill there, so it doesn't come much closer than that. I'm pretty sure he rides from his house down to the track, but yeah, I enjoy it. It is hard to pass there. Start is crucial, and yeah, I've always seemed to do good there, probably because I'm a good starter and I'm usually up front. So hopefully we'll get out front there and make our life a little bit easier.
Very good. And one last question, Hunter. There were some shots that looked like you went off the track the first moto and wrapped up some. Did you wrap up some twine or something in your rear hub area or something? I saw
In the first moto?
Yes. Was it your bike? They were showing something in the rear. Oh, I thought something. There's nothing wrapped around the rear.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't
Okay.
know. I know.
Was it second moto?
Second moto?
I don't remember. You didn't lose brakes or anything. It was hard. To, yeah.
No,
No
it
problem.
was fine.
Yeah, good.
No, I don't know where actually.
Okay. No problem.
I'll have to watch the tape back.
All right. Is there any questions from the media? There we go. Well, thank you guys and familiar faces again, and congratulations on today's successful day and all. So, okay, you guys, welcome. Round 7. We got 7 of them down, and here at Spring Creek Raceway. And Jett, same old story. 14 straight moto wins to start off the year and an 81-point lead. So, tell us about what you thought of the track. A little different than last year's prep, and how your day went.
Yeah, the track was definitely a lot different from the previous years. I feel like it kind of definitely favored a lot more in Chase's kind of technique, that flat and like kind of more muscle bulldog kind of style. He just has that bit of extra strength to just push through a few more things than I can. I have to time it, but another good day. Qualifying was good. Like qualifying's always fun for me. It's this one the track's kind of the most best you could say. And then first moto, Chase was at the start. He was I didn't really have much for him. I just kind of like was just keeping at my pace, and I'm like, all right, if he can get close enough where I know he's there, maybe we can flow a bit. And thankfully I was able to keep him behind. But and then second moto, I was looking forward to it. He got the start on me. I'm like, all right, this one's gonna be a bit different from the.
I think if your hand's on the bottom, it seems to affect it. Maybe.
Really?
Yeah.
And then that second one, he got the start on me. We kind of like went back, not back and forth, but we were battling for those first few turns, and that was fun. And after we got through the rolls, it was kind of set like I was second. I'm like, all right, this one's gonna be an all-out battle through the whole time. So I was looking forward to it. I ended up just sliding it, kind of losing traction in the rear end in that one turn. I was able to capitalize on that and ended up going down. So I mean, I'm not mad about it. I've made it a little bit easier on myself. Didn't have to go all the way to the end, but no, another good weekend. Looking forward to Washougal. It's another first kind of race for me on a 450, so it's gonna be a fun one.
Okay, Chase. Obviously, you were right there a couple of times today, and definitely in the wake of Jett, and you got a good start in that moto. So tell us how it went, and then just a kind of a uncharacteristic tip over looked like the first time, and at the end of the whoops where actually you spun all the way around and almost fell down and you saved it, and then you did have a tip over later. So tell us how the race went, kind of assess your riding today, and you feel like you're starting to come back into shape after missing so many rounds.
Yeah, their second moto start was about perfect. It was a little bit of a drag race between Jett and I. Got into the lead, and I just, I got on the gas a little bit too hard. I was into that soft stuff, and I kind of expected to get traction, and I did not get traction coming out. So I slid out, and Jett got around me, and then after the finish line, he made a big mistake. I thought he was almost going to crash, and then I ended up crashing 2 corners later. Just being behind him, the roost coming off the tire, I was wide open and could not see anything and just went right over the rut. So was thankful that I didn't really crash that hard. I just really just slid out, and from there, the race was pretty much over. So, but first moto, I had a really good charge. I fell 3 times today, which is not ideal, but I fell first lap and really put a good charge on it. Got to the back of Jett, and we went to battle. So, my riding's getting better. Just a few mistakes, and I think that is just a little bit of trying to up the pace. And I'm not going to quit, and I'm going to throw everything at it. So. I'm looking forward to Washougal, and the rest of these tracks are kind of my style, and looking forward to some more battles.
Well, you mentioned that mistake that Jett made. He was just after the finish line, that next tabletop, it looked like he clipped it a little bit, lost it, almost went off on the inside, and then literally the left, the right, and that's where you fell. So talking about ebb and flow changing real quickly, it looked like after that mistake that you were going to be right on him battling for the pass, and then a corner later you were so close you couldn't see, and then you buried the front, it looked like. Is that what happened?
I just went over the rut, and I was kind of on the rear fender just trying to get light a little bit, and didn't have any weight on the front of the bike and just lost the front. So, yeah, live and you learn.
Yeah, how was visibility when you're that close to the rear tire like that gets kind of tough?
Yeah, I went through a lot of tear-offs the first moto. Coming through the pack, obviously, had to pass a lot of guys, and then got to the back of Jett, and it was I ate a lot of dirt. So it was went through a lot of tear-offs today. I was looking forward, hopefully not to use a lot of tear-offs second moto, and ended up going right back behind him. So yeah, just putting the pieces together is going to be the main thing, and like I said, looking forward to these last 4 races.
And Dylan, a very hard-fought third place overall. You went 5-3 for third place. Congratulations for getting up on the podium, but it was a lot of work. And then you had to fend off Aaron Plessinger a couple of times in that second moto there and rode really, really well. So tell us how you assess your day and tell us about your thoughts of the track.
Yeah, difficult day for me. Struggled a lot with the track, myself, the bike. Don't really know why, but yeah. Was difficult. First moto was behind AP and never find a way to pass, and second moto was the opposite. He was behind me and never find a way. Yeah, I don't know. Not really a good day for me, but yeah, we still here. We're still on the podium at the end of the day, so it's still okay. But yeah, obviously we want more, but it's not an easy situation right now. Yeah, to me the track was terrible today. I really didn't like it. I think I rode this track pretty much every year the last 7 years. Yeah, since I'm in the US, and yeah, it was the worst year that year. I don't really know why they prepped the track with a ski machine. I think yeah, it's a wrong sport. I don't know. I don't understand that. Maybe I need to ask my buddy Jim Martin and tell him what's wrong, why they do that. So no, I didn't really like the track. It was very scary, very tricky, and yeah, very hard to find to do different line and find a way to pass. But yeah, anyways, the same for everyone. Just difficult day for me today.
Well, you said you're sitting in second place in the point standings right now, which is, obviously Jett's on want to call it a historic roll right now, but to win 14 straight motos is obviously amazing. So sitting in second is not too bad, but when you talk about the track, what particularly things did you not like of the track? Is it too fast, too speed, or it wasn't dug up deep enough? It seemed it wasn't dissed as deeply in parts as usual.
I think it's just they stopped ripping like they used to do the years before. Like when I was watching when I was a kid, like this track was one of the best, and big ruts and ripped everywhere. And even me, the last few years at the start, it was like so deep, like we couldn't get speed. And right now, I don't know, they try to make every track faster, and I think it's more dangerous. We arrive at the first turn, I don't know, maybe 60 miles per hour, and to me it's not really safe. So I think yeah, just too much, not hard pack, but too hard, not enough rip, and too fast. I think today the track's too fast, and that's why we see a lot of guys getting injury. But anyway, like yeah, it's just, maybe for some guys they like it. I personally don't like it, but it's fine.
Okay, next week we go to Washougal, another track that has some fast sections on it, but it's a completely different style of dirt. Where does Washougal rank in your rankings of favorite tracks in the U.S., Jett?
It's a hard one because it's like racing. It kind of sucks because if you get a good start, I mean it's sick. But if you get a bad start, oh my gosh, I haven't been a 450 yet, and I know to be that roost really hurts. So we're definitely gonna try and get the starts on Washougal because I don't want to feel that 450 roost going up that next hill. But just riding it, I think it's up there for one of the most prettiest ones with all the trees and that stuff. But racing, I feel like it's pretty low.
Okay. How about you, Chase? Washougal is, Jett mentioned that he feels like Washougal is kind of more of your style track, so it fits your style a little better. So tell us about what your personal thought is on Washougal, and do you think that's Jett has some truth to that?
I just think the dirt. I feel really comfortable on that kind of soil. That's what I kind of grew up riding on. Coming from the Midwest, it just has good. I mean, the traction kind of goes away during the day, but it starts off super grippy, and it's a really good flow track if you get a good start and are able to get out clean. So that's kind of the plan. You got a good start there and try and break away and just ride your lines because it's going to be a hard track to pass on, but yeah, it's something. It's a track I'd look forward to. It's definitely probably in my top 5 as far as favorites. Honestly, the last probably 4 tracks are some of my favorite ones. So I think, yeah, Washougal is a good track. It's definitely a lot different. It's good scenery, and it's just a cool venue we go to.
And yourself, Dylan? Washougal, where does it fit in your tracks?
Like Jett said, I think it's one of the most beautiful track surrounding, and everything's super nice. Or riding by yourself is very fun, but yeah, in racing it's tough. It's a tough one to race. A lot of roots, a lot of sun between the tree, and you have some very shadow section. But no, it's a very nice track. It's one of the most beautiful track in the series. Difficult to race for sure, but it's still very nice.
And after Washougal, we have a couple of weeks for you guys to relax. Anybody have to go to Loretta Lynn's as part of your duties for your job, or what are you going to do in your couple of weeks off there, Jett?
Well, I know after Washougal, Lucas, Hunter, and I are going to go to Coeur d'Alene for his birthday to play some golf. We might even bring our friend Dylan here into golf.
His driver, Hedgie, if he gets an invitation, might just drive
Yeah.
us over there because he likes
might
to
just
golf.
change his plane tickets. He doesn't like it, but I reckon deep down he practices and stuff. But and then yeah, who knows if our mate Jacob starts doing really good at Loretta's, and we could have a good chance at championship. Hunter and I might go down and on the last day and go support our boy, get a quick LL championship. Hopefully, we'll see. But yeah, besides that, just still training and just maybe take a little bit of break off.
All right, so the famous floating green of Coeur d'Alene Resort. That's a beautiful course. So Chase, what are you going to work on? Even though you stand on the wrong side of the ball when you golf, what are you going to do on your 2 weeks off?
Yeah, I'll probably play a lot of golf. It's hard to really play during the season just because one, you don't have that much time, and two, it's just really hot in Florida. So I've been going to the range though at night a lot, trying to get my swing a little bit better. It's not in the greatest spot right now, but yeah, I'm trying to get into the single digit handicap. That's kind of my goal this year, and I think if I can start grinding now, by the time we get into the off season, I should be in a good spot to get there. But yeah, I'll probably play golf. I might go fishing offshore with some of my buddies that live on the coast, and I mean, obviously ride and train, but also just be able to do some stuff that you don't get to do when you have to race on the weekends. So it's gonna be fun, but yeah, we got to race before that, and that's what I'm looking forward to.
Very good. And we have a question from the Golf Channel reporter. No, I'm just kidding. Dylan, what about yourself? What are you going to do for your couple weeks off?
I think go on an island and take some sun, surf, and walk physically off the bike because yeah, when we ride every week and we train all the time, sometimes it's hard to do dirt bike and walking out. So yeah, do maybe 1 week off the bike and walk physically. But yeah, for sure, not in Tallahassee, Florida. Probably on the island somewhere. I don't know, in the Caribbean.
Questions to the media. It's actually happened today. Glad this all got held up enough so I could actually make it. Hey, Jett, Moto 2, I think you said in the podium Moto 1 you were going to make some changes, maybe get better for the second Moto. Do you feel it worked? Do you feel you were better in Moto 2?
Yeah, we ended up just going with a tire change. And on the track, it was really good. I felt like on the start, I think I lost just that little bit because you ran a paddle, right? Yeah, Chase ran a paddle, and you could just see on just those few spots where he just got that extra bit on that straight, like on the start, this were pretty even, but then that this extra bit where he just was able to get that extra wheel. But this tire, and then like Dazzy told me to let go of the brakes earlier. That's why the suspension wasn't working as good.
That's all you changed? That?
Yeah.
Really? And it worked?
I definitely felt a lot better that second one than the first one. I felt like I had a bit better, few more lines. Oh, that wasn't English. Some better lines that second one, so I think that helped also.
And for Chase, okay, we're kind of tracking your comeback here. You actually told me you felt better after Southwick than Redbud, even though Southwick's rougher, just because physically you're getting back into racing. Do you feel you were better today and you're still progressing?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I had a lot to give that second moto. It ended up getting cut short because after I fell, I was pretty much in no man's land. But I definitely feel a lot better as far as physical condition and my riding. That was the most aggressive I'd been all year. That first moto and even in the beginning of the second moto. So, yeah, I think things are trending in the right direction. I ran the scoop tire in the second moto in the start. I was like laughing going down the straightaway because it was like midway down. I just went by because I think Plessinger was right on the inside of us, and we were all kind of even, and then I hit the dirt and I kind of went just rocketed out. So. But that probably wasn't the greatest when I slid out before the sand rollers. So, but yeah, we made a bike change for second moto as well with the shock and just trying to find some little things. And I think I was better the first moto, but overall, like I said, my physical is way better, and I think I'm recovering a lot better as the season goes on, which is I think that's a good thing. So, looking forward to, like I said, these last few rounds and just overall getting better and better.
In the first moto, you went down, I think, first lap. Just what happened there real quick. Did you catch an edge coming down that roller or that wall jump?
I scrubbed that single, and I caught the top of it with my front, and I went the opposite way, and there was ruts down there. So I just cross-rutted when I landed, and I got up. I'm like, not again. This is going to be a lot of work if I think I'm going to be able to get to the front. So, yeah, like I said, we fell a few times today. We've got a few dirt samples on the track, and every kind of dirt. I was in the dirt, and I was in the sand. So, yeah, we'll work on that for next weekend.
Did you actually surprise yourself a little bit? I mean, you go down in the first lap of a race, the chances you're going to see the leader again. Were you surprised you were able to get back up there that quickly?
I mean, I wasn't so much surprised. I felt really good, and I felt like I was being just more aggressive, and that was really the key for me. I feel like I've been so flat the first few races coming back and not a lot of push, so I feel like I was able to push, and I was kind of just mad, honestly. I was just like, I really don't care what happens. I'm going to the front. So that was kind of my mindset today.
All right. Anyone else in the media? I guess we're good.
Well, we'll let you guys go and get ready for next week. And congratulations again for the podium. You guys are getting to be regulars at this.